Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second episode of Discussion Time for the WG Travel Channel. I'm your host, Chris Baker, and let's get to it, shall we? Alright, I am just in this show only, I'm giving away a special $100 giveaway for anyone who books travel with me or sets up an appointment with me during the show. So, if anyone wants to get $100 off their first travel with me, then you would go to the website at www.wondergtravel.com and click book appointment and then send me an email and I'll be able to message you and give you the $100 discount. Okay? And last episode we talked about niche and the specialization that any travel agent has in the travel industry. Well, as I told you before, mine was European travel, cruises, river cruises, honeymoons, guided tours, solo travel, and sporting events. But I'm also open to travel in the rest of the world for bookings as well. So don't think I'll just do Europe and all that. Don't be discouraged. I also try to set up things for anyone who wants business trips across the US or domestic, if they want to do that or visit relatives or just travel in general. Just let me know and I'll schedule something for you. Okay, and now to discuss the topic at hand, US based travel to Europe and openings in COVID. Well, it is rumored that Europe will be opening its doors to the US starting late April 2021. So I would say the best time to go to Europe, in my opinion, would be from late April to October. Between that time. So if anyone's open to that, I'm always free to just call me and email me or text me. I'll be able to help you. I do customized itineraries for Europe and everywhere else. And for the price of a low car payment, you could have a multi-day trip to Europe or the Caribbean or anywhere you want to go. And they have had they said they're issuing health passports to approve people who've had two vaccinations in Europe when it opens its doors. So I don't know much about these health passports, but I do know that it's probably an extra safety precaution in case. Vaccinations will only be given 1 month before the travel date. So if you're planning on going, let's say September, you want to go October, you have to get you have to get two vaccinations before you can travel there. And this is probably not just Europe, this is probably like everywhere, usually, for COVID in general. You must have no signs of COVID up to 72 hours prior to traveling, before and after, so arrival and departure. Must be in quarantine 10 to 14 days in country. So usually if you're booking a 7-day trip, be prepared to stay those full 7 days plus extra days in your hotel. And I wouldn't plan on doing it. Mask policy, it must always be worn. Usually that's pretty typical since the pandemic started. Regular temperature checks in and out of country. Usually it's true for restaurants or any public places, but usually also applies to anywhere in the world now. And for your passports, if you plan to leave the country, to any destination, you must have the passport must be active 4 weeks before your departure date. So if your passport expires in like 2 weeks, you should get a new one. It'll take up to 4 weeks usually to get you a new passport. So I would do that ahead of time, before you're booking your vacation, just to be safe. And you must have a low temperature and be COVID free before departure. Usually happens Happened with the temperature checks there. And oh, by the way, if you do book travel with me, I want to know everything about where you've been, where you've gone, what's your favorite sites and everything. So please, when you come back and when you come back to see me, please send me all the videos, photos, any messages or anything you want to share to my Facebook personal page, my business page. I look forward to hearing from you. As far as I know, the cruise lines, they plan on opening up probably July 2021, as far as I've heard. So if you plan on going to a cruise, expect to be that month. Anyway, these estimates only depends on how fast the COVID vaccines are distributed anyway. So if it comes out later, then the departure might even be later than that. Who knows? Oh, and also someone mentioned the topic should be sports travel. So if anyone likes sporting events, especially in Europe or around the world, I can also try that. Go arrange that for you too. If you like to go to your favorite team, or while you're traveling, or you just like a nice side attraction. Everybody likes a good show, and usually sporting events like the ones live European football or soccer games there. That could be a real good attraction in Europe for sports as well as they. I know my favorite team's FC Bayern Munich, When I was staying there in Munich, that was the one soccer team to play, and they always. I think when they went to the World Cup in 2017, they were second place only to Spain because they had one or two goals uh, before them when they played the finals. So they're the top. And usually, if I want to play soccer, I just do FIFA 21. It's a really great game, especially with PS5. Um, so I'm going to do a Q&A session with everybody. Please answer or send me an email of your responses because I want to know your opinions. What is your favorite destination to travel and why? Again, what is your favorite destination to travel and why? As it goes to the topic of sports travel, there is only there are a bunch of sports that you know of. These usually it's soccer, which is in U.S., the Europe, and worldwide. Football, as we know it in the United States, really good domestic popular sport. Tennis, another good one. Softball, yeah, somewhat, yeah. Baseball in the U.S. and worldwide, I don't know. Bowling, I know some people like bowling more than others. There's in the U.S. and worldwide as well, if you want to travel there. COVID restrictions might be bad for sports or what? Well, I know that some players have gotten permission to travel for sporting events, but I also heard that they had COVID. So, player COVID restrictions, are they allowed in the rest of the world? So, is it just domestic, like in the US, or is it everywhere in the world where they are allowed or should be allowed? What do you think? I know it varies by country, it varies by which country you go to, but still, worldwide, it's kind of an issue. So another Q&A to think about. What is your favorite sport and why? If you had to choose a place to travel for a game with your favorite sports team, where would it be? Please send please send your answers to me via email because I want to know. Send your favorite sports teams. And I also want to talk about more about COVID restrictions and another issue that's been plaguing all the world and mostly the US is COVID restrictions on small businesses. You know how hard small business has been hit from COVID since it started. Well, I was reading the news about yesterday, a local news here where I live in San Antonio, and there was a video cast about, I think it was on CNN or something like that, about small business owner who lives here in San Antonio, and he he had to close his business for a period of 6 months, but then recently he reopened it because if he if he had not if he had kept it closed, it would stay closed permanently because he was falling out financially. So, as you might have known if you live in Texas, Governor Abbott has issued a no mask law, which means it's kind of a problem for those, COVID, because as the statistics shown, especially in the news, only about 9% of the residents in the United States have been vaccinated for COVID. Only 9%, which can be an issue. So there's always this growing fear of the pandemic, of whether it was real, whether it was not. The country's just been divided half and half since then about it. However, the owner is afraid customers won't wear masks in his restaurant. And he's always afraid about COVID and the health risks. It's also because he also has cancer, a form of cancer called lymphoma. So that's kind of tough trying to run a business while you've got cancer and worry about COVID, getting the spread of COVID without any masks. So, he's tried to enforce this mask law, but then people have people have not listened, and it's just a tough situation right now. So anyway, I have another question for you folks, and that is, do you believe masks should be enforced or not? Should the mask rule be enforced or not? Well, and what do you think? Do you think business would be better home-based, or would it be better, in public, like running a grocery store, running a restaurant, running a small franchise store like a hardware store? What do you think? Would it be better at home or in public? I guess it's whatever you're most comfortable with, but. Oh, also in the news, President Biden says everyone receives vaccinations within the month, which I don't know how that would happen, but one can hope, I guess. And that all adults will receive a stimulus check. I don't know the specifics of how you qualify, but I think he said that in his opening address last night. So we'll just see if it gets any better. Anyway, yeah, and that 100. Okay, and don't forget the $100 giveaway is still active in the show. So if anyone wants to book through my website or email me or anything like that, you will receive $100 off your first travel booking. So $100 off of wherever you want to go. It's really beneficial for everybody. And so that concludes discussion time. I'm Chris Baker. Please be sure to visit my next one next Friday. Hopefully we'll do the travel hour where I actually travel abroad, and we can actually be fun. So till then, bye everyone.